Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Sadashiva Samharambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Namaskara to all. This is your host Soumya. Welcome to yet another session from Indica Moksha on the account of Global Festival of Oneness. This is a month-long festival on Adi Shankaracharya Bhagavadpada, covering various aspects and topics of Advaita Vedanta. Today's topic is Practicing Advaita in Daily Life by Sri CSR Prabhuji. A brief introduction on Prabhuji. Prabhuji is an eminent scientist who held prestigious positions in government and professional bodies. He was Director General of National Informatics Center, Government of India, New Delhi. And he also headed Computer Society of India's Hyderabad chapter and presently the chairman of ACM Hyderabad Deccan chapter. He has authored 16 books, out of which 12 are in cutting-edge subjects such as fog computing and big data analytics. He founded and heads Vishwa Yoga Vidyapeeth and has taught yoga globally. He has conducted research both in computer science and Sanskrit texts and authored research-level books in all the above areas. He developed Dharma Yoga as a common framework for all religion and science. With that introduction, over to you, Prabhuji.
नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्मविद्या संप्रदायकर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः. So we start our today's evening session with a great prostration to all the gurus, in specific our Adi Guru Adi Shankaracharya, to whom we are all disciples. And we have been looking at the domain of Advaita for so many days in different perspectives. That then the basic question that would have arisen in anybody's mind was, what is all this? Is it really of any use to us in our daily life? How can we talk of Advaita? In daily life, we have not only Dvaita, but we have Bhuta. So we have multiplicity, vast multiplicity, variety, infinite variety. In this context, how Advaita or oneness will come into reality in life, in our day-to-day life. So this is a question I'm trying to answer today. In our life, as you know, we will be facing all kinds of situations. We will be facing the consequences of the body, like hunger, thirst, or the prana. The consequences of having our mind, like we have the emotions, like greed and lust and anger and jealousy and so on. And we also have the characteristics of intellect, which is hypothesis, antithesis, conclusion, inference, and so on. So all these indicate a variety of objects in the real world being dealt with by us. Now I will address this question or this subject from different perspectives. First, I'll examine it from the perspective of the emotional factors. Like we have first Ahankara, that is ego, which leads to Mamakara or mindness. I and mine. Then we have the raga, attachment, and we also have dvesha among sometimes of those with whom we have attachment. Then we have the standard 6 enemies, Arishad Vargas, kama or the desire or lust, krodha or anger, lobha or greed, moha, craze, mada, pride, vatsarya is jealousy. So I figured out these 10. Of course, fear is also there, which is a consequence of some of these. These 10 odd negative emotions, they are causing havoc in the world today. They are also known as the asuri sampatti. Dambho, darpo, abhimanascha, krodha, parushyameva, ajnanam chabhijatasya partha sampada asuri. So they are also known as the vices or the root cause of all problems. I identified these 10 negative emotions as a root cause of all problems in life, day-to-day life. I challenge anyone to prove me wrong, whether it is a level of personal life in your own house, in your own family, between your family members, or even before that within yourself, within the family, or in your office with your colleagues or with your subordinate superiors or customers or strangers, and then coming to the social level, your neighbors, your community of your apartment or house, and then of course the political level and national level and even international. If you look at the root cause of wars, the root cause boils down to one or more of these 10 negative emotions. You can't say that people who are involved in the war are not motivated by these one or two or more of these negative emotions which I listed out. In fact, I can prove, I challenge anyone to prove me wrong, that all problems in all these levels originate from these 10 negative emotions. 6 are well known, there are 6 enemies, and Ahankar, Mamakar also well known, Raga, Dvesha also well known. Raga, Dvesha, Viptaistu, Vishayan, Indresharan, Atmavasyehi, Vidhe, Atma, Prasadam, only a person who has control over himself or herself will have peace, not otherwise. In fact, in the 6th chapter, it is said that Uddhared Atmanatmanam Natmanam Avasadaye Atmaiva Hyatmano Bandhuratmaiva Ripuratmana Bandhuratmatmanastasya Natmaiva Atmanajita Anatmanastu Shatrutve Varted Atmaiva Shatruvat. You shall elevate yourself, rise upwards, and not allow yourself to fall down. You can see what is happening in the news. It is nothing but fall and fall and fall. And you have enemies and enemies and enemies. Who are those enemies? Bandhuratmatmanasa senatmayavatmana jitaha anatmanasa shatrutve varteda. You are your own enemy if you have not conquered yourself. You have not possessed control over yourself. You are your own friend if you have possessed control over yourself. So what does it mean? All these 10 negative emotions are within you, and they are coming and creating havoc in your life. All miseries, all problems in the world are caused by these 10 negative emotions. So I developed one meditation technique called Dharma Yoga meditation, where you just keep on observing these emotions in your mind. Of course, if you are a child, you will not have any emotions. You will be free from all encumbrances. Otherwise, when you observe your thoughts in a meditation session, you will see one of these 10 or two of these 10 coming and dominating your thought process and emotional condition. It could be anger, it could be lust, it could be guilt. Therefore, how to overcome every day over meditation sessions? Then after a few days, those negative emotions which were plaguing you, which were making you suffer, will be reduced but not stop. They will be decreased in their strength. And when they are adequately decreased in their strength, they are adequately weakened, you consciously and forcibly push them away and replace with their opposite. What are the opposite of negative emotions? Positive emotions. So the positive emotions are, the opposite of anger is love, opposite of greed is charity, and so on. So the 18 it is song is there. The positive emotions, serenity, regularity, absence of vanity, sincerity, simplicity, veracity, equanimity, fixity, non-irritability, adaptability, humility, tenacity, integrity, nobility, magnanimity, charity, generosity, purity. Practice daily these 18 it is, you will soon attain immortality. You will abide in infinity and eternity, and you cannot learn it in a university. This is not my song, it is a song authored by Swami Shivananda of Divine Life Society, greatness, the great guru of Yoga and Vedanta, whose disciples were once upon a time Chinmayananda also, and Bihar School of Yoga, Satyananda also, Chidananda also, Life Society. So these positive emotions are to replace the negative emotions. Love to replace hatred, hatred or anger. If this can really happen, then there will be peace. So that's what the Gita second chapter last sloka also says. Vihaya kaman yas sarvan pumam sartha nispraha nirmamo nirahankaraha sashanti madhigacchati. Esha brahmi sthiti pardha naivam prapya vimuhyati sthitva syam antakalepi brahma nirvana gacchati. So he made a very interesting comment. Sthitva syam antakalepi. If you can be established in this state, which is Brahmi state, you will reach nirvana, Brahma nirvana, even at the end of your life. Vihaya kamanya sarvan pumam sarata nispraha nirmamo nirahankaraha sashanti madhigacchati. Esha brahmi sthitipad naivam prapya vimuhyati sthitva syam antakalepi Brahma nirvana gacchati. So that means the ultimate, what I told you just now, is the ultimate spiritual process of enlightenment. There's nothing more left in it. So the neutralization of the negative emotions through positive emotions is the only way. And for that, we have the famous Atma Shatka, Nirvana Shatka of Shankaracharya. Amanastvarname dukkharaga dvesha bhayadayaha. Who am I if I am not the mind? Because my mind is not me. I have a mind. I will also stop existing in deep sleep. So I exist without mind also in deep sleep and deep meditation. So I am not the mind. The mind is something else. And because I am not the mind, I don't have all the properties of mind. Amarastva, name, dukkha, raga, dvesha, bhaya, etc., etc. All these 10. So, dehanyatvadmame janma jara karshanaya. Not being the same as the body. I have a body, but I am not the body. Because my body is continuously changing. But the sense of I is not changed. Varyadishvapi, jagratadipi sada sarvasvastasvavi, vyavruttastvanuvartamanamahamityanta spurant. The Pratyagatma, the pure self consciousness which is always there, continuously, since your babyhood in the womb of the mother, after the womb of the mother, Varyadishvapi, Jagratadapi, in the waking state, dream state, deep sleep state, sarvasvasthasvapi, vyavruttastvanuvartamanam ahamityanda spurantam, aham, aham, aham. I, pure consciousness, awareness, self-awareness is non-stop, continuously there, and without which nothing else can be there. If I am there, then I can talk of something else being there or being observed by me. So that pure self-consciousness is not changing with the body or with the mind or with the breath or with any conditioning outside. So therefore, I am not any one of these. I don't have any one of these. I don't have this negative emotion. This is the Jnana Yoga meditation process. I told you what is called Dharma Yoga meditation process, but now this is Jnana Yoga meditation process. Ajahn Shankaracharya gave in many contexts. More popular of them are the Atma Shatka and Nirvana Shatka. Mano Buddhya Ahankara Chittadinaham Natvakshrotra Jihvena Chagrana Netre Vashavyo Varna Bhumirna Tejo Navayu Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham Amruchurna Shankana Me Jati Veda Pitanaiva Menaiva Mata Janma Na Bandhum Na Mitram Gurum Naiva Shishya Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham. The highest state of Advaita, oneness with Shiva. Jiva, Shiva, are they really different? Advaita says no, they are. Jivo naham deshikoktva Shivo. Rajvajnanad bhati rajjuryadhahi. Swatma jnanad atmano jiva bhavaha. Just as there is a superimposition, adhyasa, of a snake onto a rope in darkness. And as soon as the light of knowledge is put on, the snake has disappeared. There is never a snake. It was supposed to be there. In fact, friends, what all you see today, the wars and the fightings and the bickerings and everything is Maya, Adhyaropana. So without realizing that, people are assuming the absolute truth and the Maya Prapancham. And therefore they are getting lost in the negative emotions. Asuri Pravritti. Asuri Pravritti Vapanna Mudha Janmani Janmani, by again and again born with Asuri Pravritti. And the Asuri Pravritti behavior you can see today openly in the TV or news or newspapers or anywhere. The kind of behavior people show. Asha Pasha Shatair Baddha Kama Krodha Parayanaha Ihante Kama Bhogartham Anyayena Artha Sanchaya. Even black money is being described in the Bhagavad Gita 16th chapter. Having been driven by hundreds of unfulfilled desires, Asha Pasha Shatair Baddha Kama Krodha Parayanaha, fully got swayed away with negative emotions, Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha. Ihante Kama Bhogardham, for the sake of enjoyment of those Kama desires. Anyayena Artha Sanchaya, they will be accumulating money illegally. That's exactly what is black money. This is the sloka I quoted from 16th chapter, Daivasura Sampadvi. So the Asuri Pravrittis are the root cause of all problems, dukkha, klesha. Now, what is the purpose of all philosophy, all religion, all management, all motivation, all psychology? Is to overcome sorrow. All darshanas are aiming at trividha dukkha nivrittiratyanta purusharthaha, Sankhya darshanas. So final goal is to overcome the sorrow, and the sorrow is due to these negative emotions. And if I realize that I am not really into all these negative emotions, they are only coming and going, and I am being swayed away, carried away with these emotions. I should not be carried away. I should remain a sakshi, observe the negative emotion until it gets weakened and replace it with its opposite. That is Dharma Yoga meditation, or to realize, assert yourself, you are not Jiva, but you are Shiva. Shivoham. So to assert yourself that you are Shiva, and therefore you are not affected by any one of these negative emotions. That is the Jnana Yoga meditation. In the Raja Yoga, in the Samadhi state, in deep meditations, one can experience the pure consciousness self. Because all experience is a conditioning of the consciousness or the self. Therefore, the true nature of the reality cannot be known or experienced unless and until all conditioning is eliminated. Now, if you ask the question, who am I? What is this consciousness? The same answer applies again. Any definition of who am I will be also dependent upon the conditioning. The true nature of the consciousness also cannot be known or experienced unless and until all conditioning is eliminated. And finally, if and when all conditioning is eliminated, then the true nature of the reality and the true nature of the consciousness will merge into one, because there is no two. Two itself is condition. That is, in these four sentences, which are my own, you can derive Advaita, where the conditioning is Maya, consciousness is Jivatma, and reality is Brahman, and oneness of the Jivatma with Brahman is the ultimate truth, because all the rest is a consequence of conditioning only. And if the conditioning is arrested, stopped, in the yoga system it is chitta vritti nirodha. Yoga chitta vritti nirodha tada drashtu swarupe avasthanam vritti sarupyamitartra. So it is only the chitta vrittis which are causing you false identification as so and so, so and so, so and so, and therefore the associated emotional baggage of that so and so. Like in a dream, you became some X and you have those a n number of problems, and you will be struggling with all those problems in the whole dream. And when you wake up, you will realize the whole thing very hell, but it's a dream. So also, samsara swapna tulyo hi raga dvesha visankulaha sakare satyavad bhati prabodheya satyavad. So in its own time, a dream will appear to be real. So also samsara will appear to be real. And some people even say it is actually real because they are still in samsara. Because we are all in samsara, we are all inside Maya. So within Maya, we have to accept the practical reality, Vyavaharika Satta for Maya. You have to understand three levels of realities: the Vyavaharika Satta, or the practical reality of Maya, at the down-to-earth practical level in which we are all living right now. Then higher than that is the Pratibhasika Satta, that is the Jivatva. I am so and so, I am having this name, I am having this form, I am having these relationships, I am having these emotions, etc., etc. The reflected reality. And the ultimate truth is Paramarthika Satta, which is Brahma, Parabrahman, Om. What the Yoga Shastra says is Tada Drashtu Swarupe Avastha. When the Chitta Vrittis are stopped, you are in your own true nature, but Patanjali never said what exactly is the true nature. But we have the Upanishad saying, Ayamatma Brahma. This pure consciousness self is Brahman. So that supreme Om, Parabrahman, I am that, I am not this Jiva, this so-called so-and-so, so-and-so, so-and-so. So that realization is achieved through the Yoga Darshana as well, as I already told, through the Jnana process of Jnana Yoga, that is Vedanta Darshan. And in the Bhakti Yoga, initially, I consider myself different from the Supreme Being. I perform Bhakti Prapatti, I surrender, and finally I merge with Him. So when I merge, there is no more me, only the Supreme Being exists. That is Advaita. Purusha eva idagam sarvam yad bhutam yacha bhavyam. So even same statements you will find in the Mandukya Upanishad. Sarvam Omkara Eva, Yat Bhutam Bhavishyadi, Sarvam Khalidam Brahma. So that transcendental state of the Paramarthika Satta of Parabrahman represented by Om is also represented as Shiva, as Narayana, as Brahma or Ganapati or Kartikeya or Surya or Navagraha. So Shanmata Sthapanacharya Adi Shankara got the title for establishing 6 major Devata Upasanas. All Devatas are windows into the same Parabrahma. As you know, Adi Shankaracharya, when he came to be with his mother in her last minutes, he wanted to give her enlightenment. So he first gave the darshana of Shiva to his mother. So his mother had darshana of Shiva. Then he also gave darshana of Vishnu to his mother by his power. His mother had darshana of Vishnu also. Then she asked, why are you showing both? Then he told her, both are manifestations of the same Parabrahman. So also Shakti. So also other Devatas. So the individual Devatas, as you can see in the Vishwarupa, in the 11th chapter, all different. Pashyame Partharupani Shatashodha Sahasrasha Nara Vidhani Divyani Nana Varna Krutini Cha Pashya Adityan Vasun Rudran Asvino Marudastha Bahuni Adrishta Purvani Pasya Ascharyani Bharata Ihaigastham Jagarstham Parvibhaktamane Katha. So though it is only one, it appears as many. Ekam Sat Vipra Bahudha Vadanti Indram Mitram Varnam Matarishwam Sutvanbhava. So to realize that oneness, which is the Advaita oneness, once you realize it, you are liberated. Liberated from what? Liberated from misery, liberated from problems, liberated from sorrow. Why? Because your sorrow is coming from all these negative emotions. Then the moment you transcend above them, don't have those negative emotions. And what's more, you and I, though in practical Maya level of reality, appear to be different, actually we are all one. So that oneness, Advaita experience, realization, is the only way I would put it. It is very strange and shocking that Advaita is the only way you can overcome the day-to-day problems in life. All other problems are Dvaita Moola Maho Dukkham Nanyat. There is no other solution except Advaita to achieve that oneness of experience. When oneness is there, have love. Whom do you love? You love yourself. Why do you love your child? Because you see your child as yourself. If your child is not seen as part of yourself, you will not love. So even a husband and wife, they love each other because they see as one together. The whole concept of marriage is that they're merged into one. Mr. and Mrs. so and so. One unit having 2 parts. Better half and less better, lesser half. So the oneness, Advaita, is at the core of peace, unity, and happiness. And even in the case of the human society, the Vasudhaika Kutumbakam concept is also a kind of Advaita. We have one earth, one humanity, one family. So this slogan is the only way to achieve success in international relations or international politics, cooperation, peace, and avoidance of war. So it is very surprising to see Advaita, which is appearing to be a very exotic and rare theoretical concept, actually happens to be the only way to face the vicissitudes of our daily life. We are continuously being battered, mauled, harassed, harangued by the negative emotions, which we attribute to so and so, so and so, so and so. That person is also attributing those things to someone, and it could be you. So the conflict is brewing and go into world wars. So at the end of the entire huge pyramid is only one single individual at the core of the being. Say in Russia-Ukraine war, it is one single individual who is behind that war. So in his own mind, he has not been able to overcome. I'm not saying he's right or wrong. Could be right, could be wrong. That's a separate issue. The individuals involved are not able to overcome the negative emotions towards each other. Therefore, they're not able to overcome war. And you know what is happening in Gaza Strip. The whole purpose of any religion should be to bring peace and happiness through oneness and unity. In the name of God, let us say, even if you accept any God, even if you accept the God in any religion, finally it is the same God. Because they will all say God is the one who created this. And they will also admit finally that He is the one who is sustaining and also dissolving. Srishti sthiti laya. Janmadhyasya yato va imani bhutani jayante yena jatani jivanti yasmin pravishanti tad brahma tad omkaraya tad shiva omkareshwara. Nothing but Brahman is Shiva. Sa Shiva Samari Sandra So Akshara Paramas Virat. So that same Om, oneness, is the supreme being, the divine being, God, which is actually there in all religions. It is not being understood, not being accepted. There is a continuous conflict on minor issues, keeping aside the major issues. The major issue is the oneness of the Supreme Being, oneness of Dharma, ethics, coming out to the oneness of Supreme Being from Advaita, and oneness of the process of achieving the realization of the Supreme Being, which is yoga. So Dharma Yoga is the common framework for all religions, even atheistic and even science. Because this, from the scientific perspective also, there is only oneness, because you have, in physics perspective, all forms of matter, all forms of energy are finally mergeable into one, which is both matter and energy. E is equal to mc square. So that X, which is appearing as M or E in different forms, depending on the observer's experiment. Light can appear as waves or particles, depending on the observer's experiment. So that X, which is the one which is manifesting itself as forms of matter, as forms of energy, is the Brahman of the Upanishad. Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma. So that is Sat, and the self is the Chit, Ayamatma Brahma. And the combination of the two, the experience of it, is Ananda, Satchida, which is the true nature of the Supreme Being. And this is conveyed by the sound Om, Tasya Vachaka Pranavaha, Om Ityekaksham Brahma, even Brahman or Ishvara in yoga. So Tasya Vachaka Pranavaha, Tajapas Bhavanam, that Om is the most effective way. Omkara Panjara Sukhi, Omkaram Bindu Samyaktam, Sadadhayanti Yoginha, Kamadam Moksham Che, Omkaraya Namo Namah. Omkareshwara, Shiva is nothing but Omkareshwara. That Om is expanded with greater detail in the Gayatri. Om Bhur, Om Bhuva, Om Swaha, Om Maha, Om Jana, Om Tabha, Om Satyam, Om Tat Savitur Varenyam, Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi, Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat, Om Apo Jyoti Raso, Amrutam Brahma Bhur, Bhuva, Swaro. So this Gayatri Mantra, a lot of people don't know the fact. The same Gayatri Mantra has been repeated. I have seen with my own eyes in the Zen West of the Zoroastrian religion. And the monotheism of Zoroastrians was imposed as a royal order of the Persian emperor of the Jews. That is how the monotheism of Judaism came, which is inherited into Christianity and in Islam, as if it is a new concept. The monotheism of the Zoroastrian texts and the West was directly imported. This is a well-known fact. A lot of people may not know. And that monotheism of Zoroastrian Zen-West or Venidad is imported from the Gayatri Mantra, which they directly translated. I have seen with my own eyes. And the Gayatri Mantra is nothing but an expansion of Om. Om Ityekakshram Brahma. So, friends, the oneness, Advaita, even at the international level, for world peace, if this is understood, if what I spoke today in the last few minutes is understood really by the parties concerned, then they will realize there's only oneness of God, their God, your God, my God. Everyone says God is only one. But they will go on saying, my God is correct, your God is wrong. And they also make a false interpretation of Hinduism as polytheistic. Hinduism's polytheism and pantheism are merged into the monotheism and monism of Advaita. Not understood. It is very clear in Rig Veda and other Vedas as well. Sabrahma, Sashiva, Sahari, Sendra, Sokshara, Paramas, Virat, and Ekam Satvipra, Bhagavadpadacharya, Indra, Mitram, Varunam, Matarishvam, Suparnavak, Man, Ekam Satvipra, Bhagavadpadacharya. Whatever hundreds of times it has been mentioned, there are multiple windows or parts to the transcendental supreme being, which is beyond description, beyond words, beyond thoughts. So that being the case, if you realize this much, then see there is total oneness, which is all engulfing, all pervasive. And we are all not only part of that oneness, but we are identical to that oneness. Therefore, I am identical to the Brahman, you are identical to the Brahman, therefore you and I are one and the same. The moment I realize you and I are one and the same, my hatred towards you will disappear, because I love myself, I love you because you are myself. And the moment love is there, hatred will disappear. So the oneness is so crucial and so critical to realize. In fact, all religions are supposed to convey that oneness, wisdom of oneness, the realization of oneness, Advaita, which has been missing, which has been interpreted in all kinds of things. I mean, like, they will do everything except the actual correct interpretation. That is an unfortunate situation. And I think it is primarily due to lack of understanding. The moment the Atma Vivechana, Brahma Vivechana, Satya Vivechana is taken up very seriously at various levels, even at the international level or the United Nations level, I don't think they have understood anything like oneness. They are very sure about not being one. Therefore, they go on fighting. Endless wars will be there. And even in the house, the same thing will happen. People go on fighting. Again, based on Ahankara, Mamkara, Raga, Dvesha, as I already told. And inside yourself also, if you can observe your own thoughts and emotions, and if you can replace the negative emotions with the positive emotions, then you are free from the encumbrances, the loads, the after effects, the side effects, the miserable effects of all these negative emotions. If you are free, you know, the negative emotions can go to any extent, like krodhat bhavati sammoha, sammohat smriti vibhramaha, smriti bhranashat buddhinashaha, buddhinashat pranashyati. To the extent of total destruction. It takes hypnotized behavior, criminal behavior, and criminal behavior being demonstrated, implemented, practiced with all kinds of intelligence, with all kinds of great technologies, criminal behavior. And therefore the anti-criminal behavior, anti-anti, then the warfare and endless kind of warfare goes on. So friends, the ultimate truth is only in the spiritual enlightenment of realizing the oneness of not only you with the Supreme Being, or Brahman, or Paramatman, or Shiva, or Om, but also the oneness of everything else with it. Sarvam khalvidam brahmaneha narasti kinchana. There is nothing which is other than that. The moment you realize this. In fact, the La ilaha illallah means there is no God except the God. That means there is only one God. It is not just one God, but there is nothing else except that. Neha nanasti kinchana. Not only multiple gods don't exist really. They are all parts and parcel windows of the same. But even no multiple objects other than God exist. Neha nanasti kinchana. Nothing exists other than Brahman. Sarvam khalvidam Brahman. Neha nanasti kinchana. And that Brahman is Om and Ayamatma Brahman. This self is Brahman. So this realization can be achieved through the meditation process of various kinds. I have explained you the Raja Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga, and finally coming to Karma Yoga. The moment you realize Ishavasya Sarvam Yat Kinchit Jagatyam Jagat Tena Chakti Vunjira Marg Purvaneheva Karmani. So what do you do in your whole life? Because you have realized the oneness, Ishavasya Sarvam Yat Kinchit Jagatyam. The moment you realize the oneness, you are free from encumbrances of negative emotions. So you do service to the society. Loka Sangraha, Ame Bharasikatavyam Trishu Lokeshu Kinchana. I have no responsibilities or duties anywhere, anything, but I do everything as if I have all those responsibilities. Because Yajjadacharati sreshthas tattadevetaro jana sayat pramanam kute lokastadanuvartate. I perform everything perfectly. Yoga karma sukhaushala without the attachment to the result. It is not without attachment to the action, but it is without attachment to the result. So if I perform all actions perfectly, with skill, without attachment to its result, but with full perfection in my commitment and dedication to my action or work, that is Karma Yoga. So friends, I have explained you Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Raja Yoga, Dharma Yoga. With this, I stop here. The oneness is the only way to overcome the vicissitudes of our daily life, to be able to recover our ground being lost every day, every minute we are being faced with situations of negative emotions. We can overcome only through that process. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for that wonderful talk on how Asuri Sampati affects us in terms of emotions and how we can overcome the same by practicing oneness in daily life. And thank you, viewers, for your participation. Please join us tomorrow morning for tomorrow morning session as well as from 7 to 8. Can we have the flyer? The topic for tomorrow's morning session is Swadhyaya Apamanyam Kuru. End your superimposition by Swami Swatmanandaji. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Asato Ma Satgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaskar.